Hey everybody, Greg here coming to you with another episode of Greg's Bonsai. And today we're going to be showcasing my Sycamore that I cut out from a window box, saved it, saw it growing and was like, I could try and grow this, which so far we're a year and a half, maybe 2 years in now, and we're finally starting to see some lovely growth here. Now, the last video I did on this, I checked back and it was in April. So we're now in September, so 4 months, 4 or 5 months here. And we have some significant growth, more wide than tall, and I'll get into that here in a little bit. But just so you can kind of see the overall growth here and the size of my hand to the leaf. We have a nice sized leaf here. This has been growing most of the season. And you can just kind of see the variety of sizes of leaves here that we have on this sycamore. Now, I call this my sickly sycamore because it didn't look that great when I first dug it out. I thought it wasn't going to live, but we do have some nice healing down here from that initial cut that I had made a long time ago. This was like a dead area, so I cut it back. So we see some healing. That's going to be a gnarly scar there, which is kind of cool to see. I'm debating on if I'm going to be cutting one of these 2 leaders that are coming up, or if I'm just going to keep them and kind of make it like a twin growth here. I guess it'll depend on the next couple of seasons and seeing how this guy grows. But I do have some nice growth on both of them, so that's kind of nice to see. I could always do an air layer on it and try to go from there. But during the middle of summer, I decided to experiment a little bit, and cutting at different times of year, not always the best, but I decided to try it out just to see. I made a cutting here and a cutting here. These guys, actually, we were having some really bad windstorms during the summer here, and I haven't really had a lot of time to record and document anything that's been going on in the garden here. But this guy was getting pretty tall, and in this pot, it just was not I had up-potted this just to give this a little bit more of a base, just so it had a little bit more weight, because this guy was growing up, and these leaves, as you can see, they were even bigger than this before I cut it back. So it is really nice to see that these leaves are a little smaller now that I've been trimming it back. So huzzah that the leaves are actually shrinking on this, which is really nice to see. But the leaves are about twice the size of this maybe, and they were just catching the wind, and they were up here, you know, these guys were growing up. So I decided to cut this back down and to let it grow out a little bit, just so that it wouldn't keep falling. I was afraid that if I went away for vacation or something like that, I have watering system in place for this stuff, but I was afraid that this would fall down. It was a little top heavy, and so far, knock on wood, this guy has not been falling over now with wind. So I cut this back down, and we started to get some really nice growth coming out of the sides here. We have this here. You can see how kind of fresh. Let's see if I can focus on that. You can see kind of how fresh these guys are, and we still have some growth even though we're nearing the end of the summer. We've got some up here, which is really nice. We do have some leaves that are kind of browning, kind of changing, like this here. Some of these are a little older, but the sun getting to them and just water time and things like that. I've been missing a few waterings, which happens during this time of year when you can't be here and can't get the perfect amount of water on these. But the soil has been doing well. It's not compacted or anything like that. And like I said, I like, as we start down here on the base, you can see that the trunk is getting a lot thicker, and it's starting to show some signs of age and wear, which is pretty awesome to see. Got some nubs here that I'm gonna have to trim off. I had a little tiny guy growing up here if you check back on my prior videos, and I cut him back, so that'll eventually probably get trimmed back. We do have some back budding down here starting to show up, so we'll see if something grows on that in the next year. I don't expect anything to grow here this year though, and we'll probably end up trimming back down a little even lower here on these guys in the winter, just to get ready for the spring. Now that this guy's showing some signs of strength and showing some growth, and we're starting to thicken up the trunk line here, and we get to see that nice line. I'm really excited. It's taken a few years, but we're starting to see some maturity here on these trees, which is great. What do you guys think? Please let me know down below what you think of this sycamore. Again, we're in the northeast or Atlantic area. So this guy is going to start going dormant here, hopefully in the next month or so. We're going to start seeing some leaves changing, see some nice yellows. Last year, this tree had a great show of auburn, of yellows, of oranges, of reds. So I'm really hoping I can document this in the next month when these leaves start changing color, get some pictures of it for you, and go from there. But like I said, I'm probably going to end up trimming this back down a little bit more, especially this side. This guy's a little higher. Now that I can see what a trim does, I didn't want to trim too much. I didn't want to kill it. But knowing that this guy is probably going to survive, we're going to be okay. And go from there. Get it a little lower, get it a little smaller. And it's great to see that these leaves have shrunk down in size from that trimming as well. So if you liked what you saw, please make sure to hit that like button. It goes a long way with the YouTube algorithm. And if you really enjoyed what you saw, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell just to get a notification of when something comes on my channel. And make sure to leave a comment down below. What do you think of sycamores? If you're growing your own sycamore, big or small, let me know what you think. We'll probably trim this a little bit after the leaves come off, but this is Greg signing off from Greg's Bonsai. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.